Doubleheader tonight here at San Lorenzo Valley High School as rival Scotts Valley comes in for boys and girls games. It's the basketball premiere on community television coming up next. Welcome here to San Lorenzo Valley High School for a rivalry matchup, Scotts Valley and SLV. With Kurt Edwards, my name is Tim Swartzen. Kurt, first starting out with the girls game, you've got two programs going in different directions, two rebuilding jobs. I really think it starts out with that head coaching spot.
You know, Tim, you're right. They really do. And Jim Hart's been around the program. This is his fifth, sixth year. He's really building with it. Liz Munger, one of his key students, players, he's doing a good job. He's implemented his philosophy. He's got a good offensive idea. He's making this program grow. On the flip side, Laura Lang, who went to school here at SLV, I actually interviewed her. She reminded me that I felt old after I couldn't remember on that one. She's got some old players, but she's instituting her philosophy, her coaching style. So yes, two building programs going a little bit opposite directions, but two very, very good coaches.
And as we look at our latest results for both these teams, San Lorenzo Valley had a tough time with a very talented Santa Cruz team.
They did. Santa Cruz had their way with them. They ran up and down the hardwood with them. You're probably going to see a different game next time they do play, but it's hard. It's early in the season, the coaching philosophy. Look for a couple of people for the Cougars. Savannah Prather, she will hit the boards, and she's going to be an influence.
On the other side, Scotts Valley, a very good non-conference season for them, starting out 2-0 in league ain't bad either.
No, they're very, very good. Their last game was against Harbor, and they mopped the floor with Harbor, and before that, when they went into SoCal, they never win at SoCal, and they did. So you can see this is a program on the rise.
So this is a production of community television with membership from Santa Cruz County, and we have a moment to thank some of our sponsors. Of course, CTV, a nonprofit member organization serving county residents by providing education and tools to access media. Visit us at communitytv.org. This CTV presentation of SCCAL basketball is made possible in part by the generous support of Cruzio Internet, Santa Cruz County's largest independent internet service provider, offering high-speed wireless internet, a co-location data center, and flexible workspaces with 10 gigabytes of fiber internet. Details online at cruzio.com. By Scarborough Lumber Ace Hardwell. Family owned and operated for over 40 years, Scarborough has 5 North County locations to serve you with hardware and building materials for home or job site. On the web at scarboroughLumber.com. Also by Ben Lamont and Scott Valley Market. From natural and organic foods to premium quality meats and a full-service deli to florist quality bouquets and centerpieces, Ben Lamont and Scotts Valley Market is so much more than just another grocery store. On the internet at mylocalgrocer.com. We'll be back with the starting lineups and opening tip here on CTV. Back here live at San Lorenzo Valley High School as they face the Scotts Valley Cougars, Falcons. Here with Kurt Edwards. And Kurt, we got the starting lineups. Let's give them to you as they announce them here at San Lorenzo Valley High School. For Scotts Valley, they're going to start out in the backcourt with a couple of very talented young players, Tori McBride, who's a freshman, and Angela Silver, another freshman. In the post, they've got Nadine Hart, the freshman post, coach's daughter at 6'1", and in the front court also with her, Natalia Ibrahimian and Liz Munger, who's really the big-time player for this team.
She is a huge player for this team. She is actually the big scorer. She had 15 points in the last game against Harbor. Silver, also a very quality player, but Liz, she can shoot the threes, she can cut, she can go in, she can bang on the boards. She has just had a heck of a season, and she's a returning all-league player from last year.
And there you saw the San Lorenzo Valley Cougars starting lineup: Mary Smith, Shannon Bellardi, Leah Vili, Hailey Heischerberger, and Savannah Prather. And here are the keys now for Scotts Valley's Jim Hart.
Now, Jim Hart says we're going to have to push the tempo. Find the hot hands. That's going to be Munger. If I got 25 cents on that one. Knowing Jim, he's going to go to that, and you will see him press right out of the gate.
On the other side, let's look at the Scotts Valley keys for this game from Coach Laura Lang.
Laura says we're going to have to rebound, passing and dribbling, ball control basically, folks, and make the offense effective. They're going to have to hit a high percentage of their shots because the boards are going to go in favor of the Falcons.
As we mentioned before, you see Coach Lang in her first season after playing here at San Lorenzo Valley High School. We're ready to go. San Lorenzo Valley 1-12, and Scotts Valley's 9-4. The tip is controlled by Scotts Valley quickly to Munger, who has her shot just fade away. To the right side, an offensive rebound for Ibrahimian. Right, wide open, left wing three in and out for Hart, but the putback is in for Munger.
And Munger right underneath the boards. One thing that SLV is going to have to do is box out. And, of course, you can see that press already taking a little bit of an effect.
It's a 1-2-1-1 press, and also show the 1-2-2 press for Coach Hart. 2-0 early for the visitors, Scott Valley, just about 4 miles away. So two of the closer teams in the Santa Cruz County Athletic League. Around the arc it goes for San Lorenzo Valley. And really, what type of things do you think they're going to need to do to kind of settle into this game as we see a foul early on?
Well, one of the things they're going to do is have that nice ball movement, but they're going to have to try and figure out how to get that ball inside. And that's going to be really tough to do. Jim Hart's defense, the Falcons, they like to get out and push the defense. They've got a little bit of a matchup zone, and they're going to make sure that they force the wings to the outsides to keep the ball out of the paint.
So the foul went against Smith. That's her first personal, first team foul. Pump fake. Ibrahimian is trapped there for a moment. Good ball movement. Ends up on the left side. Step back. Rainbow shot for Munger is just short. And that's another one of the keys, I think, for San Lorenzo Valley. You cannot enable Scotts Valley, as they did in the first possession, to get those extra baskets and those extra chances at the basket.
Oh, you're correct. You're so correct, Tim. That offensive or defensive rebound is so huge.
Ball is just kept in by Munger, but to the Cougars, right wing, just in front of the line. Smith shot in and out, and the rebound will roll to Silver.
And Savannah Prather almost got away. Well, she did get away with the foul, almost over the back, but no call by the officials.
Right block, it goes to Hart, fade away. He's short, and the rebound on the weak side to Bellardi, one of the tri-captains for San Lorenzo Valley.
You know, those rebounds, and SLV's just going to have to be quick, playing good heads-up ball. They're trying to swing the ball around. Good movement away from the ball right now.
Right wing, three for Prather, nothing but nets. The center averaging 5 and 6 per game. Gives SLV an early 3-2 lead.
Yeah, Savannah hitting that shot is big. If they can keep hitting the shot away, that'll pull that defense out and maybe get the chance to inside.
Natalia Ibrahimian with the 3, and SV retaking the lead by 2. Left wing, hot hand, why not again? A little bit off the iron from Prather, but the second effort is short from Bellardi, and the rebound is Scotts Valley in transition all the way down to Silver. She's fouled as she's going up, and she'll get 2 free throws.
And that's one of the things that we're going to watch throughout this entire game, Tim, is transition ball. You'll notice really quick, Scotts Valley got the ball out on the rebound, and they immediately started to push that ball down there. Silver down in their foul. That's not a bad foul, especially this early in the game. You really don't want to give up that cripple. Get her to the charity stripe, make her make those free throws. Did a good job on the first one.
Silver, a 55% free throw shooter coming into today. She makes the first.
Now it's very important for the Cougars to box out on this one.
She'll make both.
Maybe not.
4-point lead for Scotts Valley, one of the youngest teams, I'll have to venture, in the Santa Cruz County Athletic League. I'm going to say they are probably the youngest team as the ball's out of bounds. I mean, it's almost never that you see a team with 3 freshmen in the starting lineup, and their 6th man's also a freshman.
I'd have to go back a long way, and being around the SCCAL for over 30 years, you're right.
Foul is underneath. And they're calling it against Prather. It's her first personal, the 3rd team foul against SLV, and it sends Hart to the line.
Prather, number 32 in white. She is a very aggressive player. Her other sport during the fall is water polo. She was all-league water polo. His first shot for Hart falls, unfortunately, harmlessly to the deck, not making it. But Savannah plays a very aggressive style. I don't care if it's in the water, on the hard court, wherever. She is an aggressive player.
Hart misses the second short. The one thing about water polo is you usually get away with what's going on underneath the water. You can't see there.
Yeah, you can do, not here on the court.
No. Left wing three is long. Weak side rebound for Silver. Her second attempt is a little bit short, and on the fast break, here comes SLV. They're going to slow things down now. Not taking the three was Hirschberger. Pretty wise decision there, reset the offense.
I think so. When you looked underneath, you shoot that three, there was nothing but Falcons underneath the backboard, so the chance of getting a rebound is not very good. So it's a good decision.
Velarde drives in, slices through a couple of defenders. She's short, and the rebound to McBride. Up she goes, 4-on-2, has Ibrahimian up the left side, but just over her reach. And with 4:22 remaining here in the first quarter, we have the first timeout of the first game of two that we'll have here on community television. Let's take a look at what's gone down so far in the SCCAL girls standings.
You can see right off the top, Scotts Valley coming out of the gates very quick. Santa Cruz also very good. Aptos, St. Francis. SoCal they've only played one game, but traditionally John Wilson has them playing at the top. They're a very, very good ball club, and you probably see them in the CCS by the time the season's over with.
Yeah, the Scotts Valley team, I think it shows how strong this league is. Last year, they went to the CCS Division 4 semifinals, and they finished 4th in this league. So that shows you how deep this league really is.
This league, both the boys and the girls, traditionally, they'll send 4 ball clubs to the playoffs.
Munger with the steal off the inbound, but the layup is just short. Hart fighting for the rebound. Jump ball called. San Lorenzo Valley gets the arrow.
I go back, and I'm old enough to remember when they would jump ball every time there was a tie in that situation. One of the great rules in basketball was to just take the ball out of bounds. Possession arrow.
4-point lead for the visiting Scotts Valley Falcons, as there's a foul as Velarde took it to the rack. Velarde, you really look at this team, and she is an all-league performer. She's a player who leads this team with 8 points, 5 rebounds per game. And if this team wants to be successful, they need her to have a very good game.
Yeah, Shannon is the catalyst offensively, and you can see she's not afraid to post up and try and get that ball in the bucket. She's not shy about taking her shots, and she's not shy about playing defense either. Very much like Prather, she is aggressive.
Both free throws are in, and it's a 7-5 game as we approach halfway through the first quarter. Munger up and under move with the pump fake. That was a very nifty move. She's got 4, and it's a 4-point lead for Scotts Valley.
I like this time how San Lorenzo Valley breaks that press, then comes down, backs it out, and sets up that offense. But also looking at the Falcons, good defensive footwork all the way around, just staying square up on their opponent.
Drives right side, and the roll for Velarde. And a timeout called for by Coach Hart. Just a 2-point game, and you gotta really tip your cap to San Lorenzo Valley for how they've performed so far.
They've done very, very well, and and a couple of times we've seen down there on the defensive end where they've not been able to get their hands on the rebounds, but they've been able to come up without getting an extra bucket scored upon them.
DVD copies of this telecast are available via mail for $25. Go to communitytv.org/forms, download the complete a dub request form, mail it along with your check for $25, and CTV will mail you a DVD of the game. For more information, call 425-8848.
Velarde does a nice job, just a quick step to her right. They gave her the baseline, which your coaches will tell you from now until basketball finally ceases. Don't give up the baseline. They did. Velarde took advantage of it.
2-3 zone again for the Cougars, and it's an active zone, almost forcing a turnover. Those hands are up, and that's really the way to play a 2-3 zone. You got to use your arms when you aren't near the ball.
Yeah, exactly right. You play defense with your feet when you get in position, then you can use your arms.
Hart's on the second effort. It's in. is a tremendous rebounder. 10.5 boards per game for a freshman.
Just a pup, just a freshman, you're right. But you watch her get inside. She does a good job of her footwork, getting in good position and boxing out.
It's a 4-point lead for Scotts Valley. The Falcons on your screen in the maroon uniforms. The white home uniforms for San Lorenzo Valley. Right wing, Hirschberger swings it around. Prather, long three. Her second of the first quarter. It's just a 1-point game.
I wonder if she's gone out shooting hoops with her brothers, trying to help on that one. Both of her brothers are outstanding athletes here at San Lorenzo Valley High School many years back.
Around the arc it goes. Good job by San Lorenzo Valley to deny the paint so far. Now they get it to Munger. One bounce. Swings it top of the floor. Three on the way. Swish. Tori McBride.
Now that was a beautiful one, and what did that one was Munger. She went into the middle, that drew the defense in. She kicked it out to McBride, who had a clean shot.
Up goes Belardi, and she has that one rejected by this very stout defense. And a foul on the other side as Munger ran into a San Lorenzo Valley player. Hirschberger will be credited with the foul. Her first personal, 4th team foul against SLV.
That's one thing on defense. You know, you want to get there, you want to get in a good position, but you also have to allow the offensive player the opportunity to move. That time Hirschberger did not allow her opponent to get any kind of step.
Right wing, 3 in and out for Ibihimian as a new Cougar into the game. It's Haley Kata who's into the game for the first time. A 5'9" forward / center. She replaces Hirschberger. Left side, she controls. Bounces it to the top of the floor for Prather. Around the arc it goes. Belardi drives right baseline. Just 5 on the shot clock. Underneath, Kata has her shot rejected. Belardi's second attempt catches just the backboard. And back comes Scotts Valley. Right side, turnaround. Nifty move for Munger, but knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Scotts Valley.
That was a good move by Munger. You almost want to teach her, instead of turning to her left, to try and shoot the ball right-handers, to open up back to the inside and allow the opportunity to use the backboard on a hook for a fadeaway bank shot. That's a nice move either way, and you can see that these girls are well coached as far as their footwork is offensively.
Autumn Gaddis Murphy, the freshman 6th man into the game for the first time. She replaces Munger in the left wing. Deal with the 2-point shots. And a 7-point lead for Scotts Valley. So McBride with 5 points. Here's that 1-2-1-1 press. They want to force you into those corners.
Yeah.
And that's what they do there, but Scotts Valley can't cash in.
Good job coming back defensively to help everybody out.
Another 3 is just short. Weak side board. It bounces around. Finally ends up with McBride of Scotts Valley.
Notice how quickly the Falcons get the ball down court. They want to get their offense set up before the defense has that opportunity to do it. They really don't want that ball to be settled too long on the floor.
That's a great bounce pass, but a little bit high on the shot from Gaddis Murphy. And SLV will control it. They move it right to left on your screen. 8-second shot clock, game clock differential, as Prather's shot is a little bit short. 7-point lead for Scotts Valley, and they're going to let the clock run out.
They'll work that for that last shot, that last opportunity. Try and get that ball in the hands of Munger or somebody with a good open opportunity.
8 with 5. Here's the right side. Ibrahimian's shot is no good. Hart on the rebound, no. And time will run out on the first quarter. 17-10. Scotts Valley leads San Lorenzo Valley as we have a moment to thank our sponsors here on CTV, communitytv.org. 17-10, Scotts Valley leads San Lorenzo Valley. Let's thank our sponsors for this broadcast. CTV Sports is a presentation of Community Television of Santa Cruz County, a nonprofit member organization serving county residents by providing education and tools to access media. Visit us at communitytv.org. Cruzio Internet, Santa Cruz County's largest independent internet service provider, offering high-speed wireless internet, a co-location data center, and flexible workspaces with 10 gigabytes of fiber internet. Details online at cruzio.com.
And by Scarborough Lumber Ace Hardware, family owned and operated for over 40 years. Scarborough has 5 North County locations to serve you with hardware and building materials for your home and job site. On the web at scarboroughLumber.com.
Also by Ben Lamont and Scotts Valley Market. From natural and organic foods to premium quality meats and a full-service deli to florist quality bouquets and centerpieces, Ben Lamont and Scotts Valley Market is so much more than just another grocery store. On the internet at mylocalgrocer.com. Underway here in the second quarter. And Scotts Valley on the road leads by 7. Wow, what a move right down the arc, but McBride is denied by a pretty stout defense we've seen from San Lorenzo Valley. The ball's out of bounds. A heady play by McBride to knock it off to Smith, but down low, I'll say SLV has really held their own.
They have done a good job in there. And they've taken Prather out of there, but they're doing a great job of being able to box out. Watch the fight underneath with the battle at the post position. The two ladies playing the 5 are just hammering at each other. Munger 10 being one of them, and she just kicked it out.
Got man-to-man defense for the first time from San Lorenzo Valley. Right elbow underneath the Munger. She was blocked by Bellardi, but it looked like Bellardi got a little bit of the shoulder. She went up to swat that.
She got a lot of ball and a little bit too much body and shoulder. You're right, and that's one of the things. Munger had that half a step or so that Bellardi had to reach, and anytime you're going to reach in basketball, you're giving the official the opportunity to blow the whistle.
First free throw, very nice from Liz Munger, leading this team almost 16 points per game, about 9 rebounds per game.
Watch this, drops inside. You can see she had that little bit of step, and it was a nice little turn inside, keeping her body and the ball away from the defender.
Munger with 6 thus far, leads all scorers, and a lead of 9 points for Scotts Valley.
Tim, you were talking about that defense where they want to force into the corner. If you go back several years, the Wizard of Westwood, he had that press. It was just a 2-2-1 type of a zone press, and they'd let you bring it in, but then immediately is wherever you brought it, boom, the double team went on, and with that corner in there, you might as well be triple team. There's your steal.
And the lay-in from McBride, just as Coach Edwards threw it up. McBride was 7, and a timeout called for by Coach Lang.
Coach Lang, Laurel Lang is watching this game start to move in a direction she doesn't want it to go. When you sit back and have the type of a double team that they've got, once that double team is, because you're down there, you're going to get somebody in the middle. As soon as you see the steal, McBride, Tori just went right into the paint. The pass was right to her. It was an easy little layup for her, but that's what you don't want to do, is you want to get the ball and you want to be able to move it as quickly as possible. So the person that inbounds the ball has got to be coming, get the ball, give it back to the inbound person, bring it up the middle, stay out of the corner, stay out of the side. Right now, SLV's not doing a good job of staying out of the corner.
SLV to inbound, down 11, 7 minutes remaining in the first half here at San Lorenzo Valley High School. Bounce pass into the middle. It's stolen away by Munger. She'll lay it up and in.
This is where games can get out of hand and get out of hand quickly, is with that fierce press.
Ball's tied up, and the possession will stay with San Lorenzo Valley. I mean, how do you attack a 1-2-1-1 press like this?
Now, you watch how they're lining up. They're lining up 4.5. You can go deep with it, or you can just basically do the pressure. Now, here's quickly on top of it. You can't dribble the ball. You've got to catch it and move it. So there's got to be somebody finding an open lane somewhere.
Munger's now got 10. That was a fantastic move by her. One dribble and a spin finish with one hand. Munger, another steal. She'll lay it up again.
Holy cow. She's just a vacuum cleaner defensively with that press. Those long arms, long legs, and just very good discipline. You notice she's not reaching.
This is a team in Scotts Valley. There's another turnover, San Lorenzo Valley, that averages about 16 steals per game. That is an outrageous number.
Yeah, you watch them practice, and they do a good job. They're in a good defensive position. They have their hands up and out. But as I said before, Tim, a lot of it is footwork, whether you're watching Stanford basketball or SLV basketball.
That
footwork.
Was great driving dish and laying it in is Thaddeus Murphy. You got to give a lot of credit there to McBride, who really gave her an easy layup with that drive.
Yeah. And here again, watch SLV, not to belabor the point, and I know I'm doing it, but they have to move without the ball. They have to set some picks, do some pick and rolls, because they're just going right into the teeth of the Falcon defense. Nice block by Munger.
Munger read that baseline drive from Velarde. 29-10 the lead as McBride swings it to the right side. Nicole Whitney's into the game for the first time, feeding it down low, and the shot is just a little bit long off of Ibrahimian, and SLV will get possession.
Ibrahimian, you watch, if you want a nice little film on what to do when you see the shot go up and you've got a clear path to it offensively, crash the boards, go right to the boards. You're going to get that opportunity for an offensive rebound. Nobody blocked Ibrahimian out. She got the rebound, put the shot back up, didn't go.
Inbounds pass is a long one, and it's knocked out into the front row. Cougars keep possession, 19-point lead for Scotts Valley in the first half, about halfway through, a little bit more, a little bit less, excuse me, as Mr. Edwards, Coach Edwards, really, you look at these two sidelines. Laura Lang's in her first season in a rebuilding project. Jim Hart's in his 5th season. What do you think is the most important thing for a first-year coach who's coming into a situation like us, San Lorenzo Valley? What do you think is the most important thing for her to get done this year?
Establish her philosophy and always continue to be positive. Work on the shortcomings, but build the program. Obviously, you're going to be working on your base program. You've got some seniors.
Gaddis Murphy and Ibrahimian with back-to-back baskets, a 23-point lead.
But you're just going to have to make sure that the ladies that you're working with keep a positive outlook and just don't get panicky. Savannah Prather on that one, she's going to go to the line to shoot the foul shot. But what does happen is when these teams get down, right now they're down by 23 points, as they start to want to play one-on-one playground basketball. And that'll get you down by 33 points if you're not too careful.
Second quarter has been 14-0 so far in favor of Scotts Valley. And I believe this is an 11-10 game. So Scotts Valley, once they turn it on, it's hard to stop.
They did that, and all of a sudden what you noticed is that Scotts Valley put in the press. SLV was unable to handle it. If you're going to bring the ball inbounds tight to the out of bounds line, it's going to make it very easy for you to trap. And if they seal you off from a possible pass, you're going to have to get some help from your friends. And right now, the Cougars haven't had much help on the passing department.
Prather makes 1 of 2 at the line, and a blocking foul on a player just checked in, Maddie Prater. It's her first personal and the 6th team foul.
Well, the one thing when you're talking and working with basketball, you'll hear coaches yelling, deny, deny, deny. Deny a pass to the basket. Deny a pass from the basketball to the player. Deny the pass. And you watch the Falcons, they're doing a good job of denying.
Left wing, open 3, stepping into it. Silver, a little bit long. And rebound bounces out. It's onto the Cougar bench. Cougars will keep it. Just checking into the game, Jordan Rentz for Scotts Valley. You see the SLV boys cheering on their classmates and friends. They'll be part 2 of our double dip. Between the rings, it goes to Prather, dribbles up the right side. She's had a real good first half, already 7 points.
Did that one, and that was a good job by Hart stepping out in that pass and anticipating what Prather was going to do with the pass and intercepting it.
Right side, Whitney tries to feed it down low, but good help side defense from Prather.
She is, I said before at the top of the show, she's aggressive. She is a very hard worker. If she can, she'll win the game all by herself. Right now it's going to be a little tough to do.
Prather, right wing 3 is long. A double team to the far side, and a push called against the Cougars, and Prather will be charged with the foul, her 2nd personal.
That may be more of a frustration foul on Savannah's part than anything else. She was in there with pretty good defensive position, wanted to knock the ball away, used her hands, and you can hear the slap. Even with our headphones on, I can hear the slap. And if I can hear it, Curtis Gomez, who's the official underneath the basket, could probably hear it too. So whistled Savannah for the foul.
We were kind of talking a little bit earlier about how young this team is, as the front end is missed by Whitney, a sophomore who's believe it or not, one of the older players on this team. Talking to Coach Hart, he said since this group of Silver, McBride, Hartz, and Gaddis Murphy were in 4th grade, they've been playing 100 games a year together. That's amazing.
That is a lot, isn't it? You know, but it's the AAU. It's a new style of basketball. It probably was when I was playing basketball back when the Flintstones were a primetime show.
As the rebound ends up with Silver, one of those freshmen who's extremely skilled. Not often do you see a 5'10" guard in high school.
Not very often. You'll see him at Stanford, at Cal, at the Pac-10 quite a bit, but not that often here at the high school level.
You see her now, she'll collect it. Silver up the right side. Very heady player.
Nice patience, Tim. Very nice patience. 6 on the shot clock, and they got a lot of time. No big hurry. Now it is.
Great feed as.
Look at that.
And just beating the shot clock, laying it up and in. Gaddis Murphy feeding it to Hartz.
You talked about they played over 100 games together, in its experience and knowing how to work together and understanding the shot clock, having a flow of the offense. That helps to work the clock, work the ball down, work the shot clock, and not panic.
24-point lead for Scotts Valley. Hart will collect the rebound. San Lorenzo Valley's been held to just 1 point the first 8.5 minutes of this second quarter. Bounce pass, Hart, 18-footer, short. She'll collect her own rebound, goes up again, and she's fouled. It looks like Prather will be called for the foul, and if she is, that is her 3rd, and it is.
Yep, and one of the books on Savannah is that she does find herself in foul trouble. Because of her aggressive nature, she'll get that one. But what made that play successful for Hart is we see her at the charity stripe, and as you said, she's just a freshman. She gets in the weight program, gets a little older and stronger. She's even going to be more an intimidating, dominating force in the paint. Again, is her footwork. She saw an opening. She stepped to it. She kept getting closer to the basket. Her eyes were open. Her hands were up. She was looking for shots. When the shots came, she took the shot.
Nadine's second attempt is also in. She's got 6 points and a 26-point lead for Scotts Valley. You look at some of the websites. MaxPreps.com has Scotts Valley as the number 18 team in all of CCS, and I think that number is going to rise as this season goes on because we talked about how young they are. Right wing 3, short for Angela Harshberger, and on the other way comes Silver, partially deflected. Up goes Gaddis Murphy, and she'll get to the line for 2 herself.
You look at the Falcons when they got down there, you go underneath the basket, and there were 2 Falcons underneath the basket. There they are, 1 boxing out. There's 2. So they're in position to grab a rebound. The white-clad Cougars, they're on the outside looking in. It's a little tougher. Then you're going to get that reach-over foul, which the officials are going to look for. And they see that big paw come over the top. They're going to blow the whistle.
7 for 7 at the line so far for Scotts Valley. Second free throw is also good. I thought for a second there I might have jinxed the Falcons, but I didn't. 28-point lead for visiting Scotts Valley. And those dark maroon uniforms are really new high school. And I think it's hard, Kurt, for a high school to kind of build from nowhere and have the programs that Scotts Valley does now.
It is very difficult, and a lot of it goes around to the coaches and the booster clubs and just getting the right people at the right time.
Hart reads the high-low entry, takes it away, and back left to right come the Falcons. Arcing shot for Silver, shorts. Rebound off of the whites, and it'll go to the maroon.
You talk about the great programs at the Falcons. San Lorenzo Valley has a tremendous history of wonderful programs. The baseball program, their football program has had legendary years. Again, they came back on top. Scotts Valley kind of going along those same lines. They've got some good kids, some coaches that have been there for a while. Jim Hart over here for 5-6 years. There's Laura Lang, who's just her first year. Hope she stays around for a long time to build a tremendous program here at SLV. Louis Walters, the athletic director at Scotts Valley. He's been the football coach since they only had freshmen and sophomores there, so he's built that program up.
Silver controls into 2-3 zone, and Coach Lang in her first year, as we mentioned, but she's not exactly a stranger to San Lorenzo Valley High School.
Nah, four-year letterman here, played basketball here, outstanding athlete. happy to see her come back to her alma mater to bring her knowledge and her enthusiasm for sports and basketball.
Around the arc it goes. Hirschberger loses that ball, ends up with Hart. And in transition, Silver takes it to the rack, and a blocking foul against Hirschberger. And down off the floor hard was Angela Silver.
You can see Silver, she saw the opportunity to come, and Hirschberger was going to jump in the way, and had she held her ground, there would have been a charging foul. But unfortunately, she moved just the last watches. You've got to be established, and she was not established enough. She hadn't got herself in a good position to take the charge, so it was a blocking foul called against her.
Looks like
pretty good collision.
Yeah, that was a big-time collision. We're here on the floor. We can feel it.
Yeah. Now, see, I've always maintained, they say basketball is a non-contact sport. No, no. Baseball is a non-contact sport, sort of, kind of. Basketball is a contact sport. Football is a collision sport. And water polo, to get away with what you can, swim over the top of somebody and don't drown you sport.
I do think in basketball, compared to other sports, there are going to be a lot more situations where you go up and you're going to be exposed to the floor. I mean, it's a hard floor. Football, you're going to get hit, but you're going to know when it's going to happen over the middle. Sometimes a situation like that, Silver really didn't have a chance to collect herself as the first free throw is in for Whitney.
No, she really didn't. Yeah, and you're going to come up with that one. And when you go up, sometimes if you're going to get undercut, you don't know. And by the way, grass is a lot softer than hardwood.
Second free throw is also in for Whitney. When I spoke to Coach Hart, made a point to say, hardest worker on our team. She had 10 points in that 40-point victory over Harbor last time out for the Cougars. Excuse me, for the Falcons, there's a three on the right wing and through for Angela Hirschberger. Can't say Hirschberger because she's got Hillary on the team as well.
Yeah.
Falcons control off-balance shots for Rentz, and she's fouled as she went up. She'll get 2 free throws.
Hillary Hirschberger that time on the foul. Just the quick movement and the change of direction coming in by Rentz. Hirschberger took that step out to the side and got a tripping foul called against her.
Rentz first free throw off the iron. Rentz, 5'8" senior in her first year at Scotts Valley, transferred from Capital Christian in Sacramento. Second free throw is in and out. Jump ball again. And SLV will get the arrow this time. 41-14, the lead for the Falcons.
Yep, and you notice the Falcons have called off the Birds a little bit on this one. They're not pressing quite as diligently as they were, sitting comfortably on top, 41-14.
Hard pass, and Angela Hirschberger loses that one out of bounds. That was a fastball to the left baseline.
They got it. Brought it in there. 15 seconds. Let's see how the Falcons do on working the clock down this time. They did a beautiful job at the end of the first quarter.
Got their point guard, McBride, in. She had a touch. Back over right to Whitney. 5. Whitney pulls up from 7. No good. Second effort is a little long. And that will do it for the first half. 41-14. Scotts Valley on the road leads here at SLV. We will step aside for a moment. When we come back, we'll have the first half highlights here on Community Television. At the half, San Lorenzo Valley at home falling to Scotts Valley 41-14 here on Community Television. CTV Sports is a presentation of Community Television of Santa Cruz County, a non-profit membership organization serving county residents by providing education and tools to access media. Visit us at communitytv.org. This CTV presentation of SCCAL basketball is made possible in part by the generous support of
Cruzio Internet, Santa Cruz County's largest independent internet service provider, offering high-speed wireless internet, a co-location data center, flexible workspaces, and 10 gigabytes that's a lot of gigabytes, folks, of fiber internet. Details on Cruzio.com.
By Scarborough Lumber Ace Hardware, family owned and operated for over 40 years. Scarborough has 5 North County locations to serve you with hardware and building materials for home or job site. On the web at scarboroughLumber.com.
Also by Ben Loman and Scotts Valley Markets. From natural and organic foods to premium meats and a full-service deli to florist quality bouquets and centerpieces, Ben Lomond and Scotts Valley Market is so much more than just another grocery store
And we take
on the internet.
And we take a look back at the first half. And Kurt, early lead for Scotts Valley, but back came the San Lorenzo Valley Cougars with a 3, but then from then on, really pedal to the metal for Scotts Valley.
Yeah, it was, and you can see the press was just very effective. There's a steal, a quick shot inside. That's Tori McBride getting the easy bucket, and we are right back to mold screen action as Hart, and it was just pedal to the metal, as you say, all the way through. Prather with a Hirschberger with a long 3 to keep SLV somewhat in it.
Back to the second half action after a San Lorenzo Valley rebound, getting to the boards well to start out the second half. That's going to be really one of the keys for this second half for SLV, I think.
I think Laura Lang says, look at folks, we're going to have to get some offensive and defensive rebounds. You're not doing that very well.
McBride on the fast break, swings it right side, bounces it down low. Munger tries a turnaround off the backboard, in and out. And the rebound boxed out real well by Prather, playing with 3 fouls.
That's going to be the other one. You only get 5 here at high school ball, and Prather has 3 of them, so she's got to play still aggressive, but a little bit more judicious in how she attacks people.
Minute into the third quarter, and a 27-point lead for Scotts Valley. Bouncing it, Smith. High archer, a little bit too high off the top of the backboard, and it goes to Scotts Valley.
Shot selection, Tim. Shot selection is key. That one was just thrown off from the hip, and I'm sure Coach Lang will have a little consultation with young Smith after this game on how to get the shot up in a proper shooting position.
Hard at the left elbow, swings it right wing. Silver steps into a 3 short, but the backside rebound from Ibrahimian. In the lane, Munger ran into the defender Prather, and they'll call it on her.
Now, Ibrahimian, again, shows me a tremendous, she shows me a lot. She's moving without the basketball. She went to get a rebound that nobody from San Lorenzo Valley seemed to want to be able to get, so she was able to get that one. Kata coming into the contest, and Prather with 4 fouls. You won't see much of her for a little while.
Munger off the inbounds, just off the bottom of the iron. You can hear it from our great microphone up there, giving you the action at home.
I love ambient mics. The best basketball under the basket mic is at Boston Gardens, where you can hear the clunk as it would hit the rim almost every time.
Munger rolls the first free throw in. I got to say, my favorite ambient mic in sports has got to be the ice hockey one. You can hear the skating and the slapping of the puck.
Oh, very good call. That is a very good call.
Munger makes both free throws. She's got 14, which leads all scorers, and a big-time lead of 29 points for Scotts Valley. San Lorenzo Valley tries to respond, running floater, kind of a fadeaway from Velarde. Loves that right baseline. Looks like Scotts Valley's made a little bit of an adjustment to that.
They've done that one, but Munger doing a good job of sliding down and pick up that double team. So what SLV's going to have to do is kick the ball back out. So better movement without the basketball.
Great dish from Ibrahimian. Hart's attempt is short, but the putback for Munger.
Munger continues to be an offensive juggernaut, and she loves it down in the paint, and they're not denying her any position. They're going to have to find a way to push her out, and the Cougars are just smaller than the Falcons.
Velarde's shot's blocked in the key, but it's kept in. And there's another block from Munger out of bounds. She averaged 2.5 blocks last year, and she's averaging about the same this year.
She's doing a great job. Veal says, oh my, where did that big weight come from? Step across, swat that all out of bounds. That reminiscence a little bit of Bill Russell. Go back to my days. Everybody else just went,
the USF product. One of the great champions in the history of sports with the Boston Celtics. As it's bounced over right wing, 3 is just off the iron. Good job by Velarde there, noticing the shot clock was running down, and just to throw that one up. Hart, left hand, lay it up off the glass, and good. Hitting Hart with 8.
And you can see transition basketball. The Falcons coming down, not wasting any time, just beating their opponent down to the other end and setting up offensively or getting that cheap little layup.
Got a timeout, a 30-second timeout for San Lorenzo Valley, and we have time for our trivia question. Who is the only coach to win a championship in the NBA and the WNBA?
Coach. Okay, that ought to prove entertaining. I'm going to have to go to my history books, which I don't have happening right
Player
now.
couldn't win an NBA and WNBA.
You never. You could win it as a coach in one and a player in the other. Nice little run all the way on down, and you can see Hart. They just fill in the lanes. Went to the outside. The defense flew out. Down the paint comes Hart. Easy bucket.
Underrated skill there from Hart, too, using the left hand. I mean,
No,
I've seen college games, and people are still trying to shoot that shot with their right hand.
yeah, I know it. And you'll watch high school coaches and college coaches work themselves to death to try and make the basketball players as ambidextrous as they possibly can. But we just have that crippling instinct to go to that dominant hand, no matter how easy that shot may be.
See some of the fans here at San Lorenzo Valley High School. And before the game, we were talking about it. This is on a Friday night, I think perhaps the loudest gym in Santa Cruz County. It's such a small gym, and it's a great place to watch a game.
It's a super place to watch a basketball game from, and it is one of the loudest gyms I've ever been in.
McBride was tripped up coast to coast. Vili trying to go, but Ibrahimian, that is really a great sign for Scotts Valley. Ibrahimian does not quit on the play and able to knock the ball out of bounds.
She hasn't quit since she got on the floor for warm-ups.
Left side, shot is just short. Outlet pass, Munger all the way. She'll lay it up and just off the iron, got a little bit too deep. And the rebound to SLV. Munger with a big smile on her face there.
Yeah, a little more embarrassing on that one, but she's hustling back down to play defense.
And the long shot is collected by Hart. Deep pass, Ibrahimian. That was a tremendous feed from Silver.
Ibrahimian had one opportunity. She took it and made it. She couldn't put the ball on the floor. She had to quickly catch it because she was getting too far underneath the backboard.
Right side, Velarde fakes a three. Right baseline drive from Hillary Hirschberg, her sister Angela on the bench. Top of the key, Kada. Left wing, driving in. Munger swings her arms, and the attempt is knocked away, but not before a foul was called.
Veal goes underneath, and she is definitely dwarfed by some of these big, tall trees that are underneath the boards for Scotts Valley, but she was able to draw a foul. Nice little head fake, goes baseline, and gets, well, take your pick on who is going to be called against, Munger or Ibrahimian.
First free throw a little bit high for Veal. And talked about basketball not being necessarily a contact sport. It's got to take a lot of guts to be Veal, 5'1", jumping up against Munger, who goes 6 feet. I mean, that's not a contact sport. What is?
No, I don't know if they're. I think you defined it perfectly.
Second free throw is in, so she's on the board, and it's a 34-point lead for Scotts Valley. In transition, SLV with a turnover, and they will swing it up with Velarde.
Talked about that good turnover for SLV, but transition going the other way. The Falcons beat the Cougars down the court. So now the Cougars are going to have to set up and move the ball around. They're going to have to work on setting some screens. There's some movement away from the ball.
Backdoor and Arts. Big swats from the freshman.
But if you can set that one up, and you watch Hart, she spots what's going to go on. She will come from your left to your right. Nice block. Just leaves her man.
Pass down low, and it's stolen away by Jordan Rentz, who just came into the game for the visiting Falcons. There's more aggressive defense from Mary Smith, one of the tri-captains. Right wing, three for Whitney, short, and the board cleaned up by SLV. They've done a very good job in the second half on the defensive boards.
They actually have. They've been much more aggressive, getting themselves in a good position. Those cross-court passes, that time foul was called on Nicole Whitney, number 4. But those cross-court passes can be dangerous. You're going to have to not only pay attention and go to the ball, but also you're going to have to be aggressive with your hands up to catch the ball.
timeout called for by Scotts Valley. And let's look at what else we'll be seeing this winter here on CTV. Some double headers, SoCal versus Aptos. That's always a great game.
That's two old rivals that have been going after it for a long, long time. Stu Walters, a longtime basketball coach at SoCal for the boys, John Wilson for the girls, and you've got SCCAL Boys Soccer Championship. Bahar Wattsville, good wrestling. Pat Lovell, longtime wrestling. I'm going to have to pick his brain a little bit, find out who the key wrestlers are going into the season.
And we have the basketball championships, the boys soccer match, February 6th, Brea Valley versus Watsonville. And as we mentioned, the wrestling championships, the SCCAL, always, in my opinion, the best wrestling league in the CCS.
It's very well. You have to get into the valley before they start getting beat up pretty good. Another traveling call again. A lot of that is the defense, good footwork, good positioning, and not really having anywhere for the Cougars to go with the ball. And that time they just hit the deck. And Veal got a traveling call by rolling around on the floor.
2-3 zone that started out with a couple players high. Pump fake, short on the shot for Whitney. And the defensive rebound to San Lorenzo Valley, down by 34. But thus far, third quarter's been just 6-2. It's been very even. It's
been an even quarter, and what's impressed with me is number 22 for SLV, Kada, doing a good job underneath. She's leaning on some of these bigger Falcons.
Nice feed down low. The roll just out for Mary Smith. But there's a nice pass in the left wing from Veal. And with 1:52 remaining in the third quarter, SLV's going to try to chip into this lead a little bit more.
Nice job going underneath, looking for a good opening. And the more you can slash to the basket, as Smith did on that one, that's a nice high arch, the better opportunity you're going to be able to get the ball. One of the things when you have a passing or a motion style offense is you really want to start working on setting screens for one of your teammates so you can get them into the paint. I don't think I've seen free throws shot that high in a long time.
Both were good. Doesn't matter how high, how low it goes, as long as you can get it in the basket.
Good point.
Mary Smith with two. Here's a left wing three. And connecting, Jordan Rentz. Her first three of the game. Something you'd love to see. Every Scotts Valley player now on the board.
Yeah, and they distribute the ball very well. And Jim Hart does a good job of making sure that all of the Falcons get in the game, get an opportunity to play offense. The rewards in basketball, for the most part, are on the offensive end.
In the fast break, McBride goes up. She's blocked by Bellardi as that one flies out of bounds.
Great job by Shannon Bellardi. Denied the player the opportunity to get right to the basket. Did a good job with her footwork. Forced the player to get a little bit deeper than they wanted to be.
Hart inbounds it. 75 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 51-17. The lead for Scotts Valley. And there's good defense as Veal steals it. And she'll have a hesitation drive, pull up, 12-footer off the glass. That was a real old school play right there. Hesitation dribble drive off the glass, pull up jumper. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, textbook, man. You can't draw it up any better, and you worked it in practice a whole bunch.
Another steal for Veal, who has played a tremendous third quarter so far. So the great assists down low as well. As Bellardi works it around the arc. Smith thought about taking a three. High-low entry too high. Hart takes it away. And back right to left comes Scott Valley. Rentz, pull up. She'll try a 7-footer. No good. Great box out. Whitney goes up with a second effort. And it's tied up underneath. Possession arrow is going to San Lorenzo Valley.
You know, one of the things I'd like to see more of in high school, especially with the women, how they play, but even the men, is the use of the bank shot. Rentz, if she'd have used that square up there and tried to bank it in, I think she would have increased her percentages to make that shot as opposed to just get it over the rim.
Shot clock is dead. 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter. This ball's knocked out of bounds by this active Falcons defense. As you see Coach Hart in his 5th season. First time he's ever coached one of his daughters. His oldest daughter played at SoCal, and now Nadine, another one of his daughters, number 24 on your screen. You've probably got to know her number pretty well because she's been doing everything on the floor. There's a steal from McBride, with trying to break the press and break half court. And unfortunately a little bit too fast on the break for Rents with 1.6 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Ball is bounced up. It's almost stolen away by Whitney, and time will expire on the third quarter. 51-19. The guests of Scotts Valley invading San Lorenzo Valley, and they are up at the end of 3.
It has been a Falcon night. They've just been smooth all the way through this one.
CTV Sports is a presentation of community television of Santa Cruz County, a nonprofit member organization serving county residents by providing education and tools to media. Visit us at communitytv.org. This CTV presentation of SCCAL basketball is made possible in the part of the generous support of
Cruzio Internet, Santa Cruz's largest independent internet service provider, offering high-speed wireless internet, co-location data centers, flexible workstations with 10 gigabytes of fiber internet. Details online at cruzio.com.
By Scarborough Lumber Ace Hardware, family owned and operated for over 40 years. Scarborough has 5 North County locations to serve you with hardware and building materials for home or job site. On the web at scarboroughLumber.com.
Also by Ben Lomond and Scotts Valley Markets, from natural and organic foods to premium quality meats and full-service delis to florist quality bouquets, centerpieces. Ben Lomond and Scotts Valley Market is much more than just another grocery store. On the internet and at your local grocers.com.
51-19 as we start up the fourth quarter here at San Lorenzo Valley. A very exciting game between these two girls teams, and we'll have a great game after this with the two boys teams.
The two boys are going to be a really fast-paced team. They just don't like each other.
That's a good tease for any game. Another steal from San Lorenzo Valley. I got to say, the Cougars, I've got to give them a lot of credit the way they played in the second half. 8-5 thus far. Scotts Valley leads the second half as that ball's knocked out of bounds. But first half was a 29-point difference. Second half only a 3-point difference. And they've really raised their level defensively.
They really have. They've gone after the ball a lot more aggressively. You're watching them lean a lot more on the Falcons inside the paint. They're moving a little bit better with off the ball. Prather back in the ball game. She's got it down low.
With 4 fouls, she's just off the front of the iron, and her opposite down low, Ibrahimian with the board. Down the court it goes. Munger with the right hand layup. 53-19 Scotts Valley. Munger leads all scorers with 18.
But one of the things that Jim Hart preaches, teaches, and he remembers that from his days playing collegiate and high school basketball.
Short shots for Prather.
Is get down the floor. Transition. Here we go again.
Right on cue, Mr. Edwards, almost up and in, but the rebound will end up with Scotts Valley. Great pump fake through 2 defenders, just can't turn that one around, Ibrahimian, but that is something, I know, Kurt, that is not seen enough, the pump fake.
No, it isn't. She did that. He got the defender up off the ground, and Ibrahimian kept her feet. You can see her move between the defenders. Ball was kept up in a good shooting position so she can launch the shot at any time.
Prather fouls out with 7 points with 6:52 remaining in the fourth quarter. And by our unofficial count, she's only played about, I'd say, 8-9 minutes. She's got 7 points, a pretty good performance.
She's done a great job underneath, and her strength, you know, she's done from the three-point area, but she's also tremendous underneath. She does a great job of clearing the glass.
Talia's first free throw is good. Her second free throw is no good. And there's a great box out from Angela Hirschberger. She goes 5'6". Munger goes 6 feet, but she really used her body to keep her out.
Yeah, she does. And it shows right there that if you box out well, you use your body, you don't have to be the tallest one in the gym. You just have to have good position.
In transition, Whitney, long pass, Ibrahimian just over and into our cameraman. There's a couple of laughs you see from Hillary Hirschberger. I thought that was funny.
Loving it. She says, I got the ball, and we picked off the cameraman at the same time.
SLV at home, down 54-19, 6:20 remaining in the game. Just checking in, Maria Lindberg for the homestanding Cougars. Here's a right wing trifecta, you betcha. Christina Lofreno just checked in, and if you're going to check into a game, you got to take a shot.
You might as well shoot it.
Right side, great move by Munger. She goes up the key and in.
Munger so far has just been unstoppable.
She's so smooth, too. Left side, pump fake from Hirschberger. Straight away, swings left wing. Prater to Hirschberger, and she's blocked out of bounds.
Hirschberger doing a nice job. She steps inside, a nice little pump fake, causes the defender to fly, but you notice how quick Scotts Valley switches defensively.
Right wing, 3, long for Lofrano.
Here goes the race.
Ibrahimian left hand, can't get the shooter's roll. And another rebound for Hirschberger.
Ibrahimian just does a nice job, just to release, and I know that you, as coaches, we do that a lot of time. If the rebound goes to the offside, you on the other side, release down the floor.
Right wing, 3, off the backboard and iron for Angela Hirschberger. On the floor, Ibrahimian's going to pick up the ball.
Lindbergh almost able to pick up the groceries on that one.
Munger swings it left side, stepping into an 18-footer. Ibrahimian, a little too strong. Rebound in the lane. Geddes Murphy up and good. 8 points off the bench, averaging 4 points and 7 rebounds this season. She's doubled that point total. Hirschberger, cross-court pass to her sister. It was a Hillary to Angela connection. 3 straight away is just a little bit short. The ball will go to the Falcons.
I'll tell you one thing, if you're going to take that long shot like Lofrano did on the last one, got to draw some glass. Got to give your the rest of your teammates an opportunity to come up and get that rebound.
Mass substitutions as Hart, McBride, and Rentz will check in the next stoppage of play. Short shot from Ibrahimian on the near side, but it's out of bounds. So give it to San Lorenzo Valley.
Lindbergh doing a good job underneath. The other one has been when she's been in the game is Kada. She's done a fine job underneath. Watching both of these teams play, score not being too indicated on how tight these two teams are playing against each other. They're banging and shoving and pushing. Is that generally they don't pull that dribble up that far out. That time they did. LaFranco did pull the ball up and stop her dribble too far. When you do that, that can create a trouble for the defense, can come up and step up on their people and start deny passing lanes.
Under 4 minutes remaining, and a 36-point lead for Scotts Valley. Whitney trying to make it a 39-point lead, but too strong on the shots. Scotts Valley came into this game averaging about 55.5 points per game. They'll get to that. 35 is what they gave up. It looks like they'll keep SLV under that. Coast to coast, Whitney is fouled from behind by Prater, and she'll get to shoot 2.
Now, Prater, the one thing you don't want to do is just give up that easy layup, and she didn't do that one. So she fouled Whitney going on in, but the main thing is, didn't happen this time, you don't want to foul them and then have them make the layup. It's the old-fashioned three-point play.
They also don't want to foul them hard, get the intentional foul. And
right.
Don't need to have that type of thing happen in any game, let alone a game that's right now not really in doubt, but it's good to see the way that she fouled her was the right way to foul.
There's a right way, and there's definitely the wrong way where you're going to kill somebody going underneath.
Whitney made the first free throw, also the second. Those are perfect free throws. She's 4 for 4 at the line today.
Nice rotation, releases the ball right off her fingertips. You can see the rotation on the basketball.
Right side, 17-foot rainbow jumper. Can't bounce in for Prater. And the rebound to Scotts Valley.
Look at the ball movement. That time there was a shove in the back. The ball was going into Hart, number 24. She got pushed in the back.
60-22 is the score. And remember, at the half hour, we'll have the boys game between these two schools. You see the cheerleaders warming up. They got to get their warm-ups in, too, for the boys game.
Oh, everybody warms up.
Some of the things that cheerleaders do,
that's a sport.
Serious athletic ability.
That's a sport. Don't care what anybody says. That's a sport.
Ooh, a little bit of extracurricular, but good to see. Lofrano help up. McBride, very skilled point guard. She's averaging 3.7 assists per game. That is a tremendous number for a 32-minute game.
It is a tremendous number, but it also gives you the idea how she plays the game. Head up, looking down the floor all the way, not giving up the dribble. But it also goes to her teammates
Oh, exactly.
Who are moving, setting picks, trying to get open so she can distribute get the mail to them so they can make that easy shot.
60-22, under 3 minutes remaining. And if you're San Lorenzo Valley, can't be too disappointed with how they've played today.
No, I'm very impressed. I think this has been a good effort by San Lorenzo Valley, not a quit out on the floor. They continue to play. They've been playing all 32 well.
Lofredo
almost 30 minutes.
Gives up her dribble. That's maybe the place you don't want to give up your dribble. She's able to outlet it. An extra pass off the glass. Good ball movement and Field put it up and in. You got to give Lofredo a lot of credit there because she was trapped on the baseline, but the extra pass from her enabled an easy basket.
Yes, exactly. And you saw her continue to move her shoulders, work her way through the defenders.
Whitney steps into a three. Clanks it off the iron. There's Rentz. Down low, the feed to Hart, a little bit high off the glass. And SLV collects the rebound with Hillary Hirschberger. She's listed as a forward at 5'6", and she is
She's tough.
A beast down low. She does not allow anybody to offensive rebound against her.
Now, we talk about the use of the body, use of the hips, backing in, denying the opportunity. She does a very, very good job of that. She sets her pace and does not allow herself to get pushed around.
See a substitution back into the game on your screen, number 3, Raya Limburg, a 5'6" shooting guard. There's a block from Hart again as Hirschberger went up and had a big smile on her face again as that next shot is a little bit high. I think Hirschberger's got a great attitude out there. She's laughing the entire game, and she goes up against somebody who's half a foot taller, and she just says,
I don't care. I'm going to shoot it. You have to block it. That's her whole routine. But she does. You watch her play basketball, and most of the women out there, they're playing hard. They'll do something. They've got a smile on their face. They're not afraid to show emotion or anything like that. Nice job by Hirschberger. You saw her use her shoulder to get some more space.
3 is a little bit short from Hillary Hirschberger. And guess what? She's down on the floor trying to take the ball away. She's tied up with Rentz.
Well, the one good, she is what all coaches really like to have. An aggressive, hard player, plays within the rules of the game, gives you 100% while she's out there.
And she's a junior, so she'll be back next year.
Oh, yeah.
For Coach Lang. McBride, wild shot, toilet bowls in and out. The rebound is to Hirschberger again. She'll bring it up herself. Had our trivia question. We'll give you the answer with under a minute left during the boys' game.
Oh, good. That means I have a good chance to go home and look it up.
Coast to coast comes Rentz. Bounce pass right side. Lay it up and in, Whitney. That was a great play by about every single by every single Scotch Valley player to go down the court. The great extra pass, and Whitney laid it up and in.
Yeah, that one extra pass will earn you a much easier basket.
Rentz, great outlet pass. McBride's off to the races. And she will lay it up and in. Tori McBride's in double figures.
You can definitely see, Tim, that the Falcons only know one speed, and that's all ahead full.
Hart with another rebound, another steal, excuse me. And she sets a pick about 20, 45 feet away from the basket. Still gunning. McBride right wing short, and that will do it here from San Lorenzo Valley High School for game 1 of our doubleheader. 64-24. It was Scotts Valley over San Lorenzo Valley. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the game highlights and our final thoughts, and then we'll go into the boys' game live here from San Lorenzo Valley High School.